Up, we are live. I'm gonna put my headphones on. Let's go into podcast mode and all that. By the way, just testing everything out. Shooting from my home in Boston. Still here. Probably gonna be here for a while. By the way, but just shot another episode of Weekly Hustle, and it felt really good because typically I normally script out all my episodes for my podcast and stuff, but this is actually the first time in a long time which I've done just pretty much long form as well. And if you guys are just tuning into this, make sure to drop a like to battle dislike bots, not the dyslexic bots, but bots. That would help me out a lot. Also, feel free to drop a comment because this is a time where I answer your questions and all that. And I'll be honest, guys, like today, I didn't really feel like shooting any content today, to be honest, but I've been just forcing myself. Last few days, I've just been really exhausted, dealing with my family stuff, and also not only doing that, but I took like a crazy amount of calls and stuff. I took like almost, hold on for a second. Okay, cool. And we got Taste and Travel Curiously says, "What's up, Kevin? What's up, Taste and Travel as well." That's pretty cool. And hold on for a second. Man, for some reason my internet speed is so slow here. My upload speed is really good, but my download speed is sucking. And we already got the dislike bots in the house, so make sure to battle those dislike bots as well. It's crazy, man. I've been getting a lot of harassment on my freaking channel too, so don't know what to do about it. Actually contacted YouTube about it too and shit. It's been pretty some BS stuff happening onto my channel, but life goes on. That's part of the life as a YouTuber as well. And a lot of defamation type of things as well. People just making claims, just speaking out of their fucking asshole and shit. But can't always focus on those type of people. And that's one thing that I will tell you, this is just like being able to stay positive, being able to stay focused, right, has been really, really difficult, especially with what I'm going through right now with my family and being back in Boston and stuff. So that's something I've been just struggling with a little bit more recently. But anyways, enough about that. Dude, for the last 2 days, I guess for myself, I've just been sleeping a shit ton. I literally yesterday, I was so exhausted that I slept most of the day, so I woke up, but I had to wake up at 7 a.m. or actually 6:30 a.m. For a meeting, and then I stayed up for like an hour, went back to sleep, went at like maybe 8:30 a.m. and then I woke up at 12 p.m. because I got a message on my phone saying, "Hey, are we on for our meeting?" I was like, "Oh crap, I totally forgot this other meeting." And then after that, what happened was I was on the meeting for about an hour, went back to sleep, and I slept until like 10 p.m. It was ridiculous how much I slept, and then after that, I slept an additional like 9 hours or something like that. So I've been really exhausted dealing with all this like sort of stuff recently as well. So that's what's been on my mind as well. Bro, Patrick Morty says, "Bro, you're better than those trolls. Keep up the content and stuff." Yeah, I know. It's actually really been interesting because when you're getting attacked by trolls or like people who are just making up random shit, like for example, my license is public. If you do your research, I mean, you'll see that my license is totally up and stuff. And it's like one of the things I don't do very well is like ask people about the problem with getting feedback on YouTube sometimes is you don't know where people are coming from. Like I'm always very open to getting feedback, but like I guess like that's why I go to specialists, right? I go to a lot of my friends who give me like raw and real type of feedback too. I'm just like, fuck, there's so much I should be doing as well, right? And so I actually went up to my editor. He's also a full stack marketer, so he has a very good understanding of what's happening in the landscape, what kind of content I'm trying to shoot for, my brand as well, like after my brand meeting with my brand strategist, and just keeping me focused on the direction of what's next. Because I'll be honest, certain content, like I've been experimenting, certain content really hits for me. Certain content I enjoy shooting, but I've finally found out what I enjoy shooting and stuff. And it's kind of like the unscripted, off the cuff type of thing, but at the same time, I need to make it focused enough where it's like not all over the place, where people can follow my thoughts. And these streams of consciousness are like one of my favorite things. And talking about things I'm struggling with, talking about things I'm really excited with, those are things that I really enjoy talking about, right? I don't want to be. It was interesting because I was having this conversation with a friend where we were talking about like think about like let's think about some icons out there, right? And some people are just known for a particular thing. For example, if you think Michael Phelps, you think of swimming. I mean, it's the only thing you think about when it comes to that. And I can't think of any specific YouTube personalities that are like that, where they're just known for one thing. But I don't want to be known as that. I just want to commit like seppuku freaking every single day when I think about that. But when I hear someone like Seth Godin, okay, interesting. You might have heard his books like The Purple Cow, The Dip, all these other things. But the first thing is not what you maybe sometimes people will think of him as a marketer, right? But the first thing when I think about Seth Godin is Seth Godin, right? Like I know him as the person. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to be known as the pharmacy guy. I don't want to be known as the high ticket closing guy. Those are really, it's like, that's not what I want to be known for. And that's not always the content I want to shoot. I like shooting content that kind of helps people find their own path, man, of their own path of Kaizen and own path of mastery and own path of happiness and ideal lifestyle. I want to help people kind of break the freaking just same old shit of what people are just telling you all the time, and just think a little bit differently. And even if you do want the stable 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's a big disservice to lie to ourselves, taking a career like pharmacy or whatnot, and just telling ourselves that this is actually what makes us happy when it really doesn't, you know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yeah, let's take a look at the other things as well. Sleeping that much, damn, I've done that before. It feels really good at first, but you realize you miss time. Yeah, Armor Ghost. I 100% agree with you, my man. I've just been so. It's like, yeah, I wish I got more done, but sometimes taking 2 steps back to move 1 step back to move 2 steps forward, I think that's expression, is what I need. And typically, I don't give myself enough time for my body to rest. So I guess it's a good thing, I guess, for now. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like things like caffeine and stuff, like when I used to drink a lot of caffeine, I used to mask up a lot of those symptoms of me just being exhausted, right? Because yeah, and so when I quit caffeine, I was really tired. And that's the most similar feeling I've gotten in a long time, where I slept that long and I was that exhausted. that was the last time I slept that long, by the way. So FYI. By the way, would appreciate you guys to smash that like button too if you guys are watching this. Fight the dislike bots as well. Yeah. Abdullah says, yo, Kevin, being born to immigrant parents, do you find it hard to relate to be born and raised to Americans? I find myself befriending other foreigners wherever I go. Well, for myself, Abdullah, I've always kind of related more to other Asian people. I just understand, like, I don't know, there's something about when when you see another Asian person, especially, like, I'm not saying, like, it even goes, like, not just Asian. It's just, like, when I see another Asian American, right, we just always end up talking somehow, because there's just a unsaid type of experience that you relate to, right? It's not based off of race. I don't think it's necessary. It just so happens that people go through the same experience, so that's what it's all about as well. But it's if you're talking about it's hard to relate to white America, sometimes I agree. It's different. Being a minority is a very different experience, because you're always, it's kind of like, how do I put this? It's kind of like, if you're a minority, we all know what it's like to go out in the world and to put our not white self, But I was talking to these Mexican people that I met at and one of them was actually on my channel, but we were talking at one of these events that we were going to, and they were talking about being a waiter, and whenever they had to, or they're doing telephone marketing or something like that, and they had to use their white customer service voice, right? It's just really funny. And we all know what that means. When we talk about the white customer service voice, we all know what that means. And it's just like most minorities don't really, if you're not a minority, then you probably don't understand, you know? So, Armor Go says, I think I'm going to make up for lost time with fresh homemade coffee as well. All right, man. That's great. It's not trolling or defamation when it's true. I wouldn't say it's true. It's kind of hard to, I mean, like one of the things that I need to do, especially on this stream, if people are going to make accusations, they better put their money where their mouth is, right? Like, for example, saying that my license is not active, that's not cool, you know, because it's totally active, right? Saying things I violated HIPAA, that's not cool, because guess what? What evidence do you have of that? I actually was not fired for that. They dinged me for misconduct, and they didn't like my YouTube videos, right? So, you know, you can say that these things are true, but until you have hard evidence that these things are true, you know, that's trolling and defamation in my opinion, guys. Khalil says, hey man, hope all is well. Thank you, my man. Abdullah or Armor Go says, it's probably a common feeling Americans have been here for generations, are just different in manner and culture from those who haven't. Again, it's just a lot different, you know. So there's that. Laura Hansen says, hey Kevin, do you miss doing pharmacy? Not the daily struggles, but doing things like counseling patients, interacting, learning new stuff about drugs. I want to say this. I really do miss the patients. If there's one thing I do miss, it's the patient aspect. I still talk to a few of my patients to this day, actually. We have on Facebook, and from time to time, they will ask me things. My friends will ask me things, too. I might not always know the answers as well. I still do my CEs and all that sort of stuff as well. So that's something I've been doing as well. But I do miss parts of it, but I do realize, like, at certain parts of your life, you just grow out of certain things, right? And for me, I just wasn't really growing with pharmacy anymore, and that's why I made the decision. Not because I couldn't go back because of my license, it was because it just wasn't serving me. And I was just like, dude, I spent 12 plus years in this industry with something I wasn't happy with, right? And then I ended, like, I just couldn't see myself doing another 10 or 12 or however many years as well, right? So there's that. Kevin Yee, what would you tell? Okay, so I think that Halil is trying to say, what would you tell to those in their fourth year in pharmacy school and feel the same exact way that you do, but you're in loans and stuff that are deep? That's a good question. It's tough because that's why, like, it's kind of like once you're in jiu-jitsu, we have this saying where it's like once you're in a submission, like the best defense is not getting into that submission. And so one of the things is, I would say, try to I don't even know some good advice. Like the number one thing I was thinking about when I was in that situation, the first thing I was doing was just finding some sort of solution. I was looking at my different roadmaps I could. And one of the mistakes I did too was just only consider pharmacy at that moment, because there's a lot of different ways to make money as well. You don't have, like, I think a lot of pharmacists, me and my other pharmacist friend were talking about this, where a lot of the time we pigeonhole ourselves into the realm of pharmacy. Just because we have a pharmacy degree, we force ourselves to pick a degree in pharmacy, which is really, which limits ourselves as well. And so it really depends what you want to do, and really breaking down what makes a fulfilling lifestyle. I mean, find health, wealth, and relationships as well. I mean, when I say relationships, it can mean your family relationships, your friend relationships, how often you want to meet your friends and stuff like that. Or do you want to be location independent? Do you want to be more, have a solid routine? And these are things that are all important too. And I think it goes really, like, there's a whole art of selecting a really good career. And honestly, that's the tough part is paying back the loans, I would say, because let's say the average pharmacy school, you're going to be paying about 2K. If you took out loans, you're going to be paying about 2K per month in debt. And so, especially with pharmacy going down the drain and people getting paid it less and less, it makes it really hard too. So there's that. Armor Ghost is saying, are you contemplating pharmacy or are you one already? Along with Engineer Truth, he gets dislikes too. Kevin Yee says, Lemon Ghost, let go. Brian says, how much longer are you going to be in Boston? I actually don't know. I booked a one-way ticket going here because, I mean, basically I'm here to take care of my family, and I just don't know how long that's going to be. And I'm not going to lie, I had a very similar feeling with my dad at the time, like when I came back, and I wasn't sure if he needed a lot of care when he was out. Well, he did make it out, but you know, I booked a one-way flight back then too, and I was like, fuck, dude, this is, yeah, so it's some serious shit happening on my end as well. Self-help gurus are not relevant anymore. Lemon Doug's asks, how was my week in business? My week in business was really good, actually. It's been a roller coaster. I had a point where I was really on really low because me and my old partner, we kind of went our separate ways. Not because like we fought or anything like that, but it's kind of like different priorities. My friend was getting married at the time and all that sort of stuff too. And it's just, and he wasn't feeling the client anymore. So we went our separate ways through that. But I found another partner, which we're really kicking ass at. And we're pretty much doing better than what we were doing before. And it goes to show you, you know, part of a team, you have to have committed people, right? That's the most important thing I learned this week, because you can try to, it's kind of like saving a failed relationship. If your heart's not there anymore, then it's just not worth it. Like the other person's not going to put in the effort, and you guys aren't, it takes two people to make a really great relationship, business or personal relationships as well. Bob says, your personal brand is the same as Paul Tran, the negative pharmacist YouTubers, which cover which cover different market than those pro pharmacy YouTubers. Your following is all pharmacy people. Yeah, well, yeah, I could understand why people follow me for pharmacy, but you know, at the end of the day, just because people follow me doesn't mean that I don't want to put this the wrong way. It doesn't mean that I don't want those people to follow me, but I don't want to be known as the pharmacist for the rest of my life. I want to be, that's why I've been consulting kind of like brands and stuff like that, a brand strategist, on how to change your image and what sort of content to create. Because honestly, I've been very uninspired to do content for the last 1+ year. I've been really burnt out. And it's just like I'm not feeling this content that I'm doing. I kind of like the weekly hustle. It was really great to just get something off. I want to do more everyday content, but really something that aligns with me, my personal brand and all that as well, right? There's a reason why this channel is called Kevin Yee, not Kevin Yee Pharmacy or Kevin Yee like pharmacy channel or something like that as well. So, and I wouldn't say I'm a negative pharmacist. I just encourage people just find what they want to do, what they're passionate about. Like if they want to do pharmacy, go ahead. Like there's nothing wrong with doing that, but it's just really rough. I think if you're going to go into a career, wouldn't you want people to know that? Like, isn't it doing a disservice being like, hey guys, pharmacy is a great career, and because you can get your doctorate, all this sort of stuff, you're going to make 6 figures, but that's not true anymore. It's really, really tough, you know? So yeah. Yo, Kev, would you mind talking about how much you made from the YouTube? So this month, actually, from AdSense, I did about 500. I think from random affiliates, Amazon affiliates and all that, I made an additional 300 maybe, about, I would say. That's like rough, but the numbers aren't like final as well. The numbers aren't final for it. So those are my current to date numbers at the moment. And a lot of it is due to my older videos too. They're trending right now. So yeah. By the way, quick pause. Make sure smash the like button. Fight them dislike bots too and shit, and that would be great. And hell, I'm gonna do a shameless plug. I'm gonna even like my own freaking video too. Why not? um, Az is saying trying to find cash with the money. Lol. Lol. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. YouTube is not the best way to make money. It's a really great creative platform. It's a really great marketing platform if you have something to share with the world too. I think that's something to consider as well. So it's not always the best vehicle to go through. But if you have a product or something like that, or if you want to build a strong personal brand, I love it. I think Seth Godin said something really interesting. And you can tell I've been following Seth Godin recently a lot, but you don't need to have 1 billion people. You just need your ride or die homies. It could be a very small amount. Even if I just change 1,000 people, that's all I care about. I can't change every single person. I'm not trying to be a PewDiePie, because I can't appeal to masses. My messaging is not like that. Like, I'm not that person. I'm not that person who wants to make. I want to make impactful content to really help people as well. And having someone on my team has really been the best investment, because it really just helps me focus and helps me hold me accountable and just think beyond just myself as well. Sometimes when we're working by ourselves, we just totally think about ourselves as well. So there's that. El Pollo Loco Trusters, 100 to 200 per month. It depends. I used to so pre-COVID, I was probably making about 200 per month. But more recently, my AdSense has been shooting up. Like last month, it was about 300, which was really cool. I actually used that money to pay my editor as well, to just put more hours for him. So there's that. So, but yeah. Might as well stick to your brand. Keep creating negative pharmacy video content, because that's what people tune in for. I wouldn't say so, man. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not a very negative person. I don't think any of my content was meant to be negative off the top. It was just to really just give the truth about what the current state of pharmacy is. That's it. There's a lot of great things about pharmacy too, but honestly, it's really hard knowing that we have some serious problems at the moment, right? Lemon Doug says, really enjoyed your videos this week. Really appreciate you, Lemon Doug. You're the OG, man. Really thank you quite a bit for those that watch my content still. I appreciate it, y'all. Like, even the non-pharmacy content. Like, I know my views are down and stuff, and that's going to happen when you switch any sort of major content as well. But I believe over the long term, like, everything will be back up as well. As soon as I focus on what I want to talk about as well, I know I can grow a channel. That's why I created a separate channel for different things as well, right? Like investing and stuff. And one of the things that I am diving into as well is more day trading stuff too. So that's really fun. So I have the long-term investing, and I'm going to be doing the short-term investing too. But I'm to be completely transparent, for day trading, I've only been doing it for the last half week or something, or actually last 2 trading days. Been studying charts a lot, and then just paper trading for now. I'm probably going to paper trade for the next 2 month or so, and then I'll probably put some real money in and just get all the execution. Like, an important thing about trading is making sure that you click that buy or sell button. That one, that you gotta make sure that is right, son, and otherwise you'll make the wrong move. But making sure that it's almost like getting reps in or doing jujitsu things. Like, I just want to get my reps in, identify certain entries and stuff like that, right? So there's that. El Pollo Loco says, stick to your brand, making negative pharmacy contract, blah, blah, blah. El Pollo Loco Trust says, focus on positive, blah, blah, blah. They let you go for misconduct. Dude, and by the way, it's not a fucking pharmacy certificate. It's a freaking license, by the way. And it's public knowledge, my license is active. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Holy shit. Let's see. Trust me, my friend works in pharmacy, but I don't care who your friend is. They're feeding you bullshit at the end of the day. It's whatever. I'm not gonna argue with trolls. Da ha gao do. Are you a growth or dividend investor? I would say I'm a, let's see, a I'm not a dividend investor, right? I'm more of a long-term growth investor. That's what I focus on. I focus on creating a sustainable portfolio that's going to last for the long term, because that's the only way that you can, I mean, that's like the safest way to invest. If there's one thing you want to take a bet, is that the US economy will always do better in the long term, because we're a capitalistic society. And if you take a look at the previous history for investing, it's always traditionally gone up as well, right? So there's that. Kevin, really sorry to hear that. Stay strong, my man. Appreciate it. Can you describe your new partnership for HTC? Actually, I'm not a partner of HTC whatsoever. For some reason, they reactivated my affiliate link, by the way. But I don't, if you look at all my new videos, I've never posted any affiliates. I was never like a closer for Dan Locke. I just took his course, man, and it's just like, dude, I just made it work out. I have a client right now that's non-Dan Locke related and stuff like that. It's a real business model, but the problem is it's fucking hard. And it's like, I'm telling you, the questions I get sometimes, it just makes me realize that a lot of people aren't cut out to do this, because it takes a lot. You got to figure out your fulfillment hours. You got to be really good. You got to set your ego aside and really be able to have this art of getting better and better. So the people that I stuck around with, like, there were other successful students who were my friends, right? What set us apart from other people is that a lot of people are focusing on the money first, right? Money is important, but what really matters is getting good, because you're not going to get paid if you're not good. And so me and my friends, we just were really fascinated about learning more, getting better as well, right? So there's that as well. Let's see. Lemon Doug says, hope things are getting better for you. Well, things are pretty good, man. I'll tell you this. There's one thing that I definitely learned through this last week or 2 weeks or however many crap weeks I was having. It was that things could always be worse, right? I could be homeless on the street, right? I could have not made any money at all. But I'm lucky to have really great clients. I've built up some assets too that I can survive on. It's really great. I'm pretty like, when I put it like that and think about other people's problems, man, in third world countries and shit, it's just like, things could be a lot worse. And I was even talking to my mom about her story coming to America and stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm not even struggling, man. Like, it's not like the same type of struggle. Yeah, not to discount like what we're going through is a tough time, but people have gone through a lot worse times, and it could always be worse. So that's life, man. So it's not fair. It's not fair. Sometimes sometimes things don't go the way that you want it to, but you just got to stick it out and find a way to make things work out. And it's just like, I'm just right now just kind of going through a bottom and slowly rising up again. So that's where I'm at. There's nothing wrong with being a negative pharmacist YouTuber. The world needs to hear the truth about this profession. I don't, but the thing is, I don't want to bash pharmacy. I just don't think that the original promises are there anymore. I don't think it's a realistic profession anymore. Like, in terms of automation is a huge threat, in my opinion. I don't know if it really is, but in my opinion, I really do feel like it's a huge threat. The pay isn't as good as before, and there's a lot of things. And people like RX Comedy, who did so much for a community, he got fired for misconduct. And it's just like, the fuck, like, this is what our career is going toward. It's like we're chasing all these metrics. We stop caring about our fucking patients, like, I feel so bad. You know who gets fucked? The patients, because they're paying all this money into their insurance, and they're not getting the care that they deserve. Because one, we're not getting pharmacies aren't getting reimbursed, and we don't have the time anymore to really actually do what matters and actually build trust with our patients anymore, which really pisses me off. Like honestly, if we spent the time to had the time or the buffer to invest in our patients again and and cultivate those relationships, I swear sales would be up, people would listen to them, adherence would be up, because they know that the pharmacist is looking out for the best for them, not pushing like flu shots just to boost their fucking numbers or improve these KPIs that don't really improve patient outcomes, right? I'm all about goals and stuff, but holy crap, like the amount of time, like how do I put this? The amount of time that we have toward, this isn't the right word, but for fulfillment to really take care of our patients is essentially gone. I mean, pharmacists really don't have that much time anymore. How many times do you see pharmacists laying on their fucking ass or anything like that? 300 like in week per month all time. Bring back the sexy Asian girls, instant cash, says AZ. It's true. But you know what? Like, one thing I gotta be very careful about too is bringing certain guests back on too. Like people are hella thirsty. Like I don't want my friends getting harassed anymore. They're starting new lives. They have like jobs and stuff like that too. So it's just like, you know what? I've been kind of a little bit reluctant more than before, just because, if people like RX Comedy could get fired or terminated, like I wouldn't want any of my other friends to get terminated as well. So there's that. Lax Man says, if you have passion, go for it. I love it. Patrick says, you do online talk show guestings. Was wondering if I can book you to be guest. Yeah, shoot me an email at subscribers@refugeehustle.com and we can talk, man. If you want me as a guest or something like that, we can talk. See if it makes sense. Have you ever thought about doing stock analysis? That would be great, or interesting to see. Well, what I can do is kind of show you like some of the trades that I'm doing as well in terms of day trading. I mean, there are stock analyses and stuff like that, but some people, like, honestly, I think I fit on one, like either both sides of the spectrum. One, I really focus on long-term investing. The other side, I focus on really short-term investing. Like, I literally don't keep a stock for more than like maybe less than an hour or something like that. Yeah, is it tax unfriendly? Extremely, but you can make pretty good cash flow in a short amount of time, based off what me and my friends are doing right now. Like a few of my friends, so there's that. Patrick says, you're being a savage, bro. Yeah. Armor Ghost, he's a high ticket investor. Yeah. Clarity says, you ever plan on having a family or kids? Do you ever plan on going back into pharmacy, something part-time outside of retail? Probably not. I mean, the only way I could see myself doing pharmacy is going back, like maybe doing some sort of consulting or something like that, or some sort of strategy consulting or pharmacy strategy consulting. I don't even know if that's something real, but I definitely am good at strategy and planning, resource pool, and kind of like taking these concepts. And even if I don't know everything, I definitely know the right people to ask to find the answers and stuff like that. I learn really, really quick. But in terms of having a family, absolutely. That's one of my biggest goals. That's why I work the way I do, because I want to create I essentially want to create a sustainable like lifestyle for a good foundation for my future kids and family. I mean, that's everything, man. Like, I want to bring some young ones into the world and stuff too. But I don't think I would do pharmacy ever again. At least I don't plan to. I already have like this gut feeling of I don't even like doing a regular job per se, because there's this other world that that you have potential for and that you could really kill at, so there's that. By the way, quick pause, make sure like this video too, drop a like, fight the dislike bots as well, would appreciate it. Thank you for the 12 people that have liked it, and those 7 people who disliked my video. I don't know why you're disliking my video. Stop watching my videos if you don't like it. At the end of the day, real talk. North Cal is getting less than 16 an hour. It's dead. North Cal is like paid a lot more too as well than compared to SoCal and stuff, from what I remember. So there's that. Armor Ghost is answering, for me, family, yes. Pharmacy, likely no, but not out of the question. Yeah, exactly. Stefano says, hey Kev, glad to see you do this again. I do this every Sunday, guys. I try to do 6 p.m. Pacific, but honestly, I was running late with my weekly hustle podcast, so that's what I was doing. But I try to do this every single week. Brian says, preach, bro. Appreciate you, Brian. I can't wait to see you when I come back as well. It would be pretty cool. Patrick says, would you be willing to be a guest on an online talk show that I host? Would be great to have you talk about automation in certain jobs. Yeah, let's talk about it, Patrick. I mean, shoot me a email. I mean, okay, so guys, here's the thing. I really like helping my viewers and stuff. I mean, recently there was crap, I can't forget his name, but he has the Hypno show, and he's a 16-year-old. I took like an hour of my time just to really jump on his podcast and stuff and just talk about everything as well. And so I'm always like glad, as long as you're just not being a freaking asshole. Like that's the only thing like that I ask. Like if you're not a troll or anything, like if you guys are really trying to grow something, I'm more than happy to try to see what I can do to help, you know? But yeah, Patrick, shoot me an email and then we can talk, man. What do you think about joining Air Force Pharmacist? I'm guessing that you saw my video about being an Air Force pharmacist. If you haven't, then you can you should check it out. But I think it might be a really good career for certain people. I don't think it's for everyone, but if you want stability, if you want like to potentially pay off your loans and stuff, it might be a good route. But better do it sooner than later. That's the number one thing I learned from that interview, guys, because you know they'll pay off more of your student loans. But also like things like PHS is really good. Public health service is really good. And there's other things that you can apply to too within the government as well. Those are really solid, but they require a commitment. I mean, you're not going to have the same freedom. So if you care about freedom, then probably Air Force might not be for you as well. We got the OG Haro says green tea latte. How's the COVID situation in LA? Pretty horrid from what I remember too. I don't really know. Someone is asking, did Angela Fang see? This is like the bullshit I'm talking about. I literally spoke to Angela like last week, like before I left, and Jenny, I literally spoke to Jenny this week. Like, dude, this is like such bullshit. Oh my god. Fired for misconduct in farm sounds serious. Like, how does that even happen, lol? Because misconduct can be anything, right? Like, it's such a vague term that it's hard to prove. And so one of the things that they were saying too was that I was editing in the pharmacy, which I was, but I was on my lunch break, and especially like in the role that I am, you don't clock out because you're considered union and you take your lunch break on that sort of stuff. So it's like stuff like that. They really, I'll tell you this, when they spoke to me, they really, really, really did not like the fact of me having a YouTube channel whatsoever as well, right? Why does everybody who failed at their career become a consultant, says El Pollo Loco? I don't know, man. I mean, like, dude, consulting is very, very real. I mean, one, like, and this is, I know El Pollo Loco has been kind of putting troll comments, but, you know, I think El Pollo Loco actually has a good point where a lot of people who, like, there's a lot of consultants in the world, right? And it wasn't until I met a real consultant, like a Big Four consultant, where I realized what consulting is. And now that, because like one of the major things is that people are consultants when they have like very little experience in certain areas and stuff like that too, which is kind of annoying. But like for myself, I mean, I've won a lot of different awards for increasing sales in my pharmacy as well, like for vaccines and certain things, right? And so I mean, I definitely do have that experience as well, and I think I know enough how to implement certain programs, and definitely being in business now, that's really added to my skill set as well, you know? So yeah. El Pollo Loco says, Kevin, just say it, you're lazy, admit it. No, I'm not fucking lazy. And dude, El Pollo Loco, if you don't like it, get the fuck out. I'll tell you that. Rayon King says, would you recommend Danlock HTC program to anyone? Actually, you know what? I don't recommend HTC like as a general broad thing. Like, I think people need to think about, why are you taking any sort of program, right? Like, what's the purpose, right? What's the purpose of taking a specific program? Is it to learn a high ticket skill? Is it to learn closing or anything like that? At the end of the day, the most important thing is, like, the programs are just to bridge the gap. Like info products, they're supposed to bridge the gap of the skill aspect. But at the end of the day, the most important part is experience, because you could read every single book in the library, but will people take you seriously or value your knowledge? No, because it's not applied. There's no experience behind that. And that's the most important thing. You have to have experience in what you're doing. And that's why, like, if you guys are curious, like, because people have that, like, one of the things that I feel very adamant about was that I didn't want to do a high ticket program. Like, I didn't want to do a high ticket closing course or anything like that, because honestly, I've only been in this industry for 2+ years, right? I do have some experience. I'm decent at it. I wouldn't say the best, right? But I'm decent at it, especially after 2 years. I have to give myself that, where I'm scrapping against top salespeople. But I have to say, like, I don't feel ethical about that, because I just don't have a track record experience. But other people argue in the online space, like, they're just like, hey, if you can solve a problem, then it's your duty to help people. But I mean, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean it's my duty to sell them a program. I could do a lot of free content for them and just kind of share my journey as well, and do that. I mean, I could do that, but yeah. So I don't know. I went off a tangent. Got to give a trolls maybe a little credit. They're in love with her. Yeah, they're in love with freaking Angela, Jenny, and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, they're really good people. And that's the one thing, man. I think, like, at the end of the day, like, I've always been, like, in my real life, not talking about online life, right? Because online is a different thing. But in my real life, I've always been very fortunate to have really great people in my world as well, right? I would always have really, really, really great people in my life where people are just genuine, really great kick-ass people in my life. For example, like today, I had a friend. She's a PA friend, and we hung out. She was like, hey Kevin, I know you're going through some rough times, let's go out for a walk and stuff like that. So we went to like a mall. I haven't been to a mall in forever, but we just spent like literally 3 hours just walking around, just talking and stuff. And she was a good friend. She picked me up and stuff, and we just went. And it was just like, it's so great knowing that I haven't spoken. I only speak to her maybe but once every 6 months, once every year or so. And that's what I just have really great friends like that. And that's not the only one as well. So there's that. Let's see. People are asking whether CVS or Walgreens. I never worked for Walgreens. I did like internships there as well. AZ says, bro, any thoughts about moving back to East Coast? Everybody's thinking about leaving after finding out Joe Rogan is peacing out. Good point. I'm not quite sure, because I do like LA because of the 10th planet and stuff like that, jiu-jitsu. But I would even consider going to Asia for a bit, like before I settle down. I think that's important to me. I mean, also another big factor, I know sounds kind of lame, but also allergies. I just kind of want to, like, I don't want to worry about dealing with the seasons or pollen or anything like that. I just want consistency in my life so I can just focus on what's important to me as well. El Pollo Loco, I've been watching your YouTube since 2016. I watched you grow and fall, throw in towel and go back. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, El Pollo Loco, let me ask you this. If you don't like my channel anymore, if you're going to keep on talking shit and all this sort of stuff too, why the fuck do you follow me? Like, at the end of the day, no one holds a fucking gun to your head, to watch my channel and all that sort of stuff too. I never understood that, so it's just interesting. JJ asks, are you still friends with JoJo? I am friends with JoJo still. Joe Jitsukawa. We talk every once in a while. I haven't seen him since before COVID. I saw him after I got back from Dan Pena and stuff like that. So that was the last time I saw him. He's doing some interesting things. He is on his own journey of interestingness. I don't even know what he's doing. Brian Fung says, I've been watching Kevin since 2016 too. However, he seems more happier now than when he was in pharmacy. And plus, well, Brian also kind of knows me too, so he knows all the backstory as well. But we all know Kevin's fave is On. Lol. Which On are we talking about? I can't even remember, man. By the way, quick pause. Since the 15-minute mark, or 15 minutes till we end, I guess. Make sure to like this video. Would appreciate all the likes as well. Let's see. Also, California is going to be shut down all year. Fucking ridiculous. Damn, that's some serious shit, guys. That's some serious shit. Goose asks, do I play Fortnite? No, I don't play Fortnite. You're like a big brother who is messing up in life trying to help you. Here's the thing. I don't need help, you know, I get help from people who I know who. Here's the thing about taking advice, and maybe this is a good point to talk about as well. Never take advice from people that you don't want to be like. So people, if you're watching this and you're just like, man, Kevin, you're fucking up, don't take my advice. I never told people to take my freaking advice to begin with. But also goes the same way. I listen to people who have grown bigger channels, who have strong business acumen and experience, and ask them for their experience, man, at the end of the day. And that's been something that I always look for, like, experience at the end of the day, because it's like people can always shoot ideas out, but doesn't mean like you should listen to those ideas as well. So I understand if you really are trying to help. I appreciate it, El Pollo Loco, where you're coming from. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're like leaving negative comments and all that sort of stuff isn't helping the situation as well. Battlefield says, do you still keep in touch with your old HTC group? Whatever happened to them? I do keep in touch with from people time to time. I don't want to disclose everything that they're doing, but a lot of them aren't doing closing, but they're actually in better careers after through HTC. It's really interesting. They just realized that closing didn't fit their lifestyle, and they just realized that, oh, maybe this career at Facebook is better, or maybe getting this job at blah, blah, blah is a lot better, and they're much happier, you know? It's not for everyone. Closing's fucking tough, dude. Sunet says, just discovered your video on blood pressure and keto. How have you been doing since your last vid? So I'll tell you this, to me. My blood pressure's been really, really good. I don't think it was always... Yes, diet has to play a role with it, but also more important is stress. Like, dude, in pharmacy, I had like really high blood pressure, and it was because all the stuff I was dealing with. Stress is real. When your cortisol spikes, that's going to increase your blood pressure like crazy. As far as keto, for the last two plus weeks, I've been back on keto, lot more strict and stuff like that. So, listening to a lot of Charles Poliquin, the strength sensei. He's a really great guy, and I get so motivated for him as well. Oh, AZ says Only ATL. I know who you're talking about. Antuli. Yeah, she's cool. She's a homie. I mean, like, she's married and stuff. So no. Kevin, you never asked us how you found your channel. You should ask us. What's really interesting, actually, I built out a survey in my email list to ask you guys that. But yeah, kind of curious, guys. Why not? AZ wants, like, I think AZ brings up a good point. How did you guys find my channel? Those are watching that. All the 19 people who are watching this as well. I was thinking about learning a high-ticket closing skill for better income. Rayon, it's really, really tough. A lot of people, like, fall flat on their face doing it. But when you're good, like, I definitely know a lot of closers who make a lot of money doing this as well. So you can make a really decent living, but it's not all that it's cracked up to be sometimes, you know? All I'm saying is going back to pharmacy, work, save the money, pay off your loans, start over, keep a YouTube thing as a hobby. No, because El Pollo Loco is not what I want. I think at the end of the day, like, sure, maybe that would work for some, but that's not what makes me happy. That's not my ideal lifestyle. right? I rather work hard to build an asset of my own. It doesn't that make more sense, right? Like, just because, because here's the thing, El Pollo Loco, just because, and I'm not trying to demonize you or anything like that, man. I just want to talk to you human being to human being for a second, right? Like, you probably, you're for yourself that is watching this, you probably care a lot about stability, money, or something like that, but I'm willing to struggle. I'm willing to put in the reps. You can't tell people what they want. It's just like your Asian parents telling you, hey, you should be a doctor or lawyer, when you have no freaking, you don't even care about that sort of stuff. Did you, like, a lot of people who are in those careers are miserable half the time because they ended up doing it just for the sake of doing it. It's not a healthy lifestyle. I've been back to it. It doesn't make me happy. I tried it for 12 years. I worked in the pharmacy for freaking 12 years, guys. It's not like I didn't give it a try. It's like, dude, I gave it a lot of freaking time, and I just realized things aren't getting better. And why would I go back to pharmacy when there isn't even that much growth? It's going to be automated. I'm not saying it's going to be automated, but I definitely foresee it being automated in the future. Like, that's just my belief, right? I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't have any hard data to back it up. Maybe I should do a video about hard data about automation. That might be a good video topic, but I just don't see a future in it, and I think those who are in pharmacy, because a lot of the people who say that there's a future in pharmacy are those that have never been in a pharmacy. They never worked in a pharmacy. They're not a pharmacist. So I'm kind of curious, all the pharmacists in here who believe that pharmacy is on a decline, comment below. I'm very curious as well. Do you believe in Dan Locke's wealth triangle? Actually, of all the things that Dan Locke talks about, I actually like the wealth triangle. It's better than the ESBI type of, well, it's like, it makes a lot of freaking sense. But there's a few things I would change about the wealth triangle. If you guys don't know, wealth triangle is like, high income skill, but it can be a high income job. It's just like basically what it is like some sort of something to stop the bleeding, to pay your bills on time as well. So there's that. Could be contract work, could be service-based business or whatever. That fits in the bottom rung. The second one is cash flow business, and the final one is high yield investment. So I think that's a really great way to think about things. I like things in threes more recently as well. So there's that. How's your alarm journey? Oh, I think you meant QLA journey. Have you made any acquisitions? No. And right now, just FYI, because I'm in Dan Pena's thing, and he's talking about acquisitions for 2020 is super. It's going to be harder than ever right now, more than ever as well. So I also realized during the whole QLA thing is that I wasn't really interested in QLA. Like, I liked QLA, learning about it, because it taught me a lot about how real business is done. But for myself, I don't think I'm ready for QLA, because QLA takes a lot of work. It's not something that you can just hop into. My friends did mergers and acquisitions. They warned me ahead of time that's going to be hard. I was like, let's try it anyways. I always make something better in the long run. And I think one of the things that QLA taught me was how to track my time a lot better, how to speak with more conviction in terms of business. So when I meet another big business guy on my closing calls, I'm able to set authority and just cut straight to shit and use the same language that they do, right? Like, talk about their exit strategies, all that sort of stuff. Do they do seller finance? And sometimes when they don't know what the fuck you're talking about, it builds more authority. It's really funny as well. I don't understand why you just don't want to go back to pharmacy. I don't like El Pollo Loco. It's simple as this. I'm just not happy in pharmacy. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that, right? Like, I just don't want to go back to pharmacy. Rohan asks, acquisitions are the certificate isn't revoked under probation. Just go back to pharmacy. So this is what I mean. This is like the defamation part, guys. It's like, first of all, it's a license. A pharmacy license is not a certificate, right? Earlier, you said that my pharmacy license was revoked or under probation, and now you're saying it's not. Like, dude, make up your freaking mind. Like, this is what I mean. Like trolls and stuff, like they just make broad accusations like that with no that's like, dude, you can get sued for that, literally. Anyways, just go back to logical answer, 80, 100K per year, save, do this for a few months, a year. So, oh my God. Long ago, don't remember, but farm related. I found your channel since back in the day when you're still living in Joe, Brandon can, Tommy can. Yeah, that was the good days. I miss those days, man. Living with the crew. A lot of great memories. I still talk to Can, still talk to Bree. Haven't talked to Brandon since like earlier this year. Joe, I message like every so often, but really pivotal time, and it was really, really great living with them back in the day. I had the most funnest times back in the day too, living in that house. The AZ, the one who said everything, I found you in the most roundabout way. I was watching a bunch of Hobo Ali videos, and yours came up next. You were saying some shits about her, and I subscribe. Well, that's so funny, my man. That's really funny. Does El Pollo Loco know how bad pharmacy is right now? Exactly. Taste and travel curiously. Exactly. And you're a pharmacist, if I remember, right? Taste and travel. So you know what it's like. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people who are saying, it's just like, I was talking to Matt about this, right? And he was saying like, people who are saying that engineer was a really good career have never been in engineering themselves, right? El Pollo Loco says, you struggled during your 7 years of college. You've done what the trials and tribulations that comes with it. If you're unhappy, then just take antidepressants. Dude, I'm not even going to argue with that, man. Like, how is that helping? Like, what's the root? Let's take a step back. What's really making you depressed? You're just masking up the symptoms. Money isn't the problem, right? Like, I can find a way to make money. I've survived these last 2 years. It's not the thing is, I don't care about stability because I want to build my own stability. And people who haven't gone through, I don't want to say like younger people don't understand, but until you've been in a career like pharmacy, you probably don't understand, right? The fact of burnout, the fact of you don't want to do this anymore. And it's not because you're lazy, because you're under such immense pressure that it ruins your personal life. It ruins your physical life as well. And you just realize, you just get tired of not being able to go back to home and see your family for any of the holidays, or feel stuck in a pharmacy for 12 plus hours a day. You just don't understand, and it's okay. Like, if you're younger, El Pollo Loco, that's totally fine. But what's not okay is to kind of impose this, like, your beliefs on other people just because you don't want something, or you believe that people should want something, doesn't mean that other people should go the same route, right? Rohan says, how's the mentee program? It was actually really good. It was really productive. Like, the first when I first got out, I had definitely had that testosterone like in my blood every single day. But also I realized that quickly that M&A is not for me right now at this point in time. I really want to build my business acumen, and if there's one thing that I learned from Dan Pena is like, dude, follow your fucking gut. Don't listen to other people. Like, be confident about your decisions, and I'm absolutely confident about this decision too. El Pollo Loco says, my dad's a pharmacist. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you're a pharmacist, El Pollo Loco. All you gotta do is move to a small town if you're having a trouble finding a job. Dude, if you haven't already, El Pollo Loco, look at the BLS. We know that's not always true. There's 0% job growth, negative 10 jobs, 100 jobs in the next 10 plus years. Like, dude, stop giving advice about that when we know that is not true. I mean, sure, people can find jobs, right, if you go the backdoor route, but it's not as easy as that, El Pollo Loco, and it's like not something I want to even do. Bob says, pharmacy is on a decline. The only ones who will say otherwise are professors and pre-farms. Dan Locke, Wall Triangle, instant tap out, submission, win UFC mode. I was looking for people who have background with high ticket closing. That's how I come across your channel. That's awesome, man. Yeah, and one of the interesting series that my editor actually recommended was me trying to help out people on new offers and just consult with them, do live sales like training on as well. I don't think I'm a master at sales, but I think I definitely could provide some golden nuggets to people. Everyone that I talk to sales, like not who isn't in high ticket sales, who is doing sales for their own businesses or something like that, they always get blown away by the questions I usually ask or my concept of sales. Like my editor says, he literally said this on when I had my meeting with him. He was saying that, Kevin, I can tell that you get so excited when you talk about sales. No, but I don't get excited talking about sales. I get excited helping people, consulting them, helping them identify a problem that they never knew that they had, bringing clarity to their goals. That's what I'm excited about. That's the fun part, building rapport. You just got on the phone and now they're sharing their finances with you and all that because they believe that you can really help them, and you really can help them, So it's just like the best feeling in the world, guys. Wrap the legs around the neck wealth. Pharmacy is definitely not in a good situation right now. Automation on the horizon is only going to make this worse. And Brian is a pharmacist, guys. Brian is like a very you want to talk about going like I don't want to say big dick pharmacist, but you want to talk about pharmacist with a lot of credentials. Brian is it. I mean, he has a lot. Like he is he's pretty decorated as a pharmacist too, and he's saying this stuff as well, right? Pharmacy is a livable career. You might as well move to a small town, but it's livable. But guess what, El Pollo Loco? That's assuming that you want that lifestyle, and you don't even know what that lifestyle is because you just said that your dad's a pharmacist. You're not even a pharmacist, right? So how can you tell what other people want or not, right? AZ says, Pollo, how old are you? 28. I have my degree, making good money. Watch Kevin during college. He helped me out a lot. But now I'm starting to doubt his intentions. Well, El Pollo Loco, maybe that's a time like, hey, I appreciate. Here's the thing, El Pollo Loco. And anybody watching this who freaking hates my channel or questions my authority, guys, I don't put a gun to your head. I'm grateful for the time that we did have, especially if I helped you. But, sometimes you're just not meant to follow someone for the rest of your life. And if that's the case, like, dude, it's best to let go of that relationship, right? That's it. Just unsubscribe. It's not the end of the world. You go on your life. I wish you the best. Like, I really genuinely mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't want people following me if they don't really like my stuff, like that's okay. That's completely okay. But anyways, because you're stuck, AZ says, because you're stuck on the farm path. So I feel like I owe it to him to help out. It's his turn to get help. I appreciate that, El Pollo Loco, but you know what? It's like I know what I want at the end of the day, and that's the thing. It's just like closing, man. It's pretty interesting. When I first started closing, I started imposing my beliefs on other people, like really wanting to help them out. And El Pollo Loco, I really do believe you're not coming from a ill place, right? But at the same time, you have to understand what other people want first, right? Before you can even make a recommendation, right? You can't just give a recommendation about something that someone doesn't even want. And I don't even want to do pharmacy as well. I'm sure if you're making good money, great. But it's not something that, like, pharmacy is just not something I want. And a lot of pharmacists who are watching this probably feel a very similar way, where they're looking for, maybe not to quit pharmacy, but they're looking for other alternative realms. And I know some of the stuff that I say is kind of red pill these days and alternative and stuff, but I'm speaking about my experience about what I'm doing, right? And my experience about leaving pharmacy. So I don't think it's doing people a disservice by talking about what I'm going through, what's working, what's not working, So I appreciate your advice, El Pollo, but it's also like, dude, listen for a second. I don't want to do pharmacy, right? Bob says, informatics pharmacy is not a growing profession. Stop misleading pharmacy students. Brian, I'm kind of interested about your response to that, man. You do you, man. Kev got out. I'm not. If I'm unhappy, guess what? I find happy. Blah blah blah. Brian says, what intentions are you doubting? Well, if he's struggling financially, it's an easier answer. Go back to work. I never said that. I never said that pharmacy informatics is a growing field. It's been a decline after meaningful use. Can you talk a little bit more about acquisitions? I'm a little bit confused on what mergers and acquisitions are. Okay, so what kind of acquisitions and mergers are you looking at? So let me kind of break this down in an analogy that most people can understand. You know how people buy and flip houses, right? It's essentially the same thing, but think about it with businesses. You're acquiring businesses who are looking for an exit strategy, essentially people who don't want to run the business anymore. Not businesses they might be under financial struggle, but typically you don't want to acquire those businesses, right? Typically they might, death, divorce, like the 4Ds, I guess, right? Death, divorce, dissolution of partnership, those type of things, right? They're looking for a way out, and you're basically setting up a dream team to take over that business and then acquire multiples of those businesses and either take it public, meaning set up a IPO, or you can actually like sell the business off as well. So you can do either or as well. And there's multiple ways to structure that deal. It's typically you need to set a dream team to do your due diligence and make sure that's a good business and find the deals and stuff. It's a lot of work, but that's what mergers and acquisitions are. And obviously there's different fields you can go into, like what's his name? Dan Pena always recommends bedpans, home health essentially, right? Or I was looking at pharmacy, like whatever. You can even look at trailer parks or anything like that, or certain cybersecurity, IT, that sort of stuff as well. You can't, like, if it's a company, you can acquire it, but some industries are a lot harder than others as well. So that's what was doing. I never said informatics is a growing field. Proceeds to start a pharmacy informatics academy. I mean, Bob, I think like something you gotta realize too, man. Because I don't know who you are or anything like that, man. Like at the end of the day, like I think Brian, just by educating people about informatics, I don't think is the worst fucking thing in the world. Some people really like informatics, and let's be honest, there is a career in pharmacy informatics too. I mean, one of my really good friends, she actually started a career in informatics pretty recently, accidentally as well. So by teaching people what informatics is, and people really like it, Brian is actually doing a service to those people as well, right? So JJ says, hey, just want to say keep on doing what you're doing. I'll drop by whenever I can do to support. Hey, JJ, really appreciate you, my man. Hey, shoot me a email, man. I would love to send you something like special, I guess, right? So best wishes, stay safe with everything happening in the world. Then give him workout polio, says Taste and Travel curiously. Yeah, I have friends in pharmacy, and it's exactly as you say it is, Kevin. It's not good. Like, let's be real. Like, so this is an exercise I tell people do, is like, if you have pharmacy friends and stuff, think about your pharmacy friends, or if you know people in pharmacy, ask them how they like pharmacy. Maybe some will really love it, but most of my friends who done this exercise say that they have trouble finding a very happy pharmacist. It's very, very rare. There's a reason why like sites like the Happy Farm D is up, because there's a lot of unsatisfied pharmacists up in the world. Now, am I telling you go after that offer? I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that you're seeing a lot of these offers right now of helping pharmacists to transition. And for me, I don't think I would really want to participate or create an offer like that. But yeah, it's just there's a market for unhappy pharmacists. I mean, there's a study, guys. If you guys don't believe me, I think I link it in my recent video. I did a screen share of it, but apparently, like, burnout is so common in pharmacy, where it's like it's the number one. I think 62% of pharmacists are burnt out or something like that. There's a high percentage of people that are burnt out, and then like they report higher burnout levels than ER physicians and other careers, healthcare careers as well. So the burnout is freaking real, y'all. So And who would want to move out in the middle of nowhere if you don't want to? Exactly, taste and travel. Like, you get it because you're a pharmacist, right? Like, you want not everything is about money. Money doesn't matter if you want to fucking commit seppuku every single day. If you think about blowing your brains every single day, it's not worth it, right? Like, you only get this one life. Money, dead presents, great and all, but it's not the end all be all everything, y'all. Your dad being a pharmacist mean he's been in it for a while. The golden days. Now is not the time. Yeah, pharmacist. Boycott El Pollo Loco. Hey, I'm 16. What side hustles do you recommend? Well, I think digital, honestly, if you pick one field in digital marketing, I think it would be really solid. So pay advertising, that's a very popular one because if you get a retainer client, you can make a lot of money. And a lot of my friends have built out 6-figure, on the way to 7-figure agencies as well with just a few clients as well. So there's that. There's copywriting. Another one of my friends, he does banana copywriting strategies or something like that. He runs a Facebook group. Really funny guy. But he also does copywriting agency, and it does really, really well. So if you specialize in one niche of a area in digital marketing, maybe it's branding or something like that, branding strategist, I don't know what it is, but you can make a lot of money. So that's really great. I like the digital aspects because you can be remote, you have location independence, you have more control over your finances too, and it's scalable. So that's what I like. And plus, if you go into any other businesses, if you focus on either sales or marketing, you can apply that to any business because you're always going to need to close clients. You're always going to need to to convince or persuade your target market to believe in you, to make the jump that it is okay. It's not manipulative by doing that, right? If they really want to make a goal and you have the solution, there's nothing wrong with helping them make the jump, right? And creating a compelling offer that they can't refuse. Giving them something that they want. That's what marketing is. It's giving the offer that they truly want, right? Without feeling like they have to, freaking YOLO everything as well. By the way, for those 9 people who haven't already, make sure to smash the like button. Would appreciate it, y'all. Clarity says, I graduated last year, so pretty new pharmacist. Found you after watching Brian Fung's videos about informatics 2 years ago. I work in a hospital, but I know the non-grocery retail stories. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But congrats, by the way. Being in the hospital, that's a dream job for a lot of people. A lot of my friends like it, but they actually get bored through it too. So love to kind of hear your experience, Clarity, by the way. That's what vacations are for. Oh man, you don't want to get me started. Guys, vacations are only good if they allow you to take them. El Pollo Loco, you just don't realize you got to get approved for them as well, right? It's not uncommon to request a vacation, and guess what? It gets denied, right? Or you have to request a year plus ahead, and it's very, very real. So you know what? El Pollo Loco, if you want to do pharmacy, go ahead. I'm not here to convince you to do pharmacy. If you're so gung-ho about pharmacy, go do it, my brother. But honestly, you can't. It's this information that is coming out. It's just so eye-opening too. It's dude, this is not a good it just shows me that you just don't have experience in this area, which is okay. That's why people come onto my channel, right? But obviously all the pharmacists on here are telling you otherwise as well. Hagao says, take antidepressants instead of changing your life. Sounds like a plan. That's funny, Hagao. Growth in pharmacy. And by the way, guys, I normally don't respond to comments, but it's gotten so bad to the point where it's just you know what? If I see a comment, might as well just respond. Just I'm not going to obsess over it, but just keep on going. Because if I say nothing, it's just as bad. It's not helping anything as well, right? So growth in pharmacy informatics is different than a lack of pharmacy informatics education. The former is in decline, but the latter is lackluster. You've called yourself a workaholic. Just take less hours, volunteer less. Brian Fung, haven't watched your videos in a while, but I want to know if you could go back, would you still do pharmacy, and would it be informatics or another specialty? Yeah, that's a great question, Brian. Like, dude, I never even asked you this in personal life as well. If there's no pharmacy jobs, why do they work over you? Doesn't compete, dude. El Pollo Loco, I don't even understand your question, my man. Like, dude, it's a statistic. Go to Bureau of Labor Statistics, type in pharmacy, right? These are national numbers. Take a look at that. I'm not saying it's impossible to get a job, but it's very tough, especially when we're pumping out 15K students every single year, my man. And there's zero job growth. Isn't that quite concerning? Would you say that's concerning? I say that's pretty concerning for a new grad as well. And I'm just trying to help people kind of transition out of pharmacy or find a career that they're really happy with, right? Because it's not helping by shoveling more people into a pharmacy at the end of the day. Pollo, AZ says they overwork because they downsizing. Those who remain must put in more work. You feel? Spoken like a true pharmacy school professor, lack of blah, blah, blah. Hey, hello, I'm 16 years old. I want to do the QLA seminar for 20K. So what are side hustles that you want to make and spend money on? Well, I'll tell you this. Why do you want to do QLA? Like, what's the reason why you want to do QLA? Is it to meet Dan Pena? Is it to see how high performers run? Is it like, do you really want to do mergers and acquisitions? And I would say if you want a taste of it, I think something that would be really good is actually to consider a career like in consulting, and you can always make the switch later to do your own QLA as well, M&A as well. I think that's great. It'll teach you executive presence and all that sort of stuff, and you'll see what it's like working at a Big Four. But don't get caught up, because you might get caught in the golden handcuffs and might never want to leave, something like that as well. So there's that. Every problem has a solution. If you're burnt out, don't quit. Just work 8 to 10 months out of the year. Take 2 to 3 months. It's obvious. And take and take antidepressant pills. I don't think that's a really great plan. And El Pollo Loco, it's pretty clear to me that you've never worked a career in pharmacy as well, because try to find an employer that will let you do that as well. They're not going to let you, right? They're gonna I think something that you're forgetting too is when you leave, you lose all your benefits. It takes, if you want your 401k, if you want all that sort of stuff, like you need to hit vesting age, and companies are not that's assuming that you get rehired. There's no promises, dude. They're not going to want to hire someone like every 8 months or every 8 to 10 months out of the year as well. Like, no business would want that when they can find a new grad who would be more than willing to stay there and get paid for less as well. So yeah. Kevin likes freedom over stability. Look, he was stable for years, didn't like it. Kevin's doing his own thing. Props to Kevin. Thank you, Steven. I really appreciate you, my man. You get it. Right? I think I'm just preaching to the choir over and over again too, by just talking, just saying the same things. Another solution is finding another job. I think, Tungusa, that is a very valid argument, is finding another job that, you could potentially like as well. Why are you shaming his decisions if he himself is happy? I appreciate it. You get it too, Tungusa. Really appreciate OG fan. Love you, man. Clarity, I'm not a person of regret, so I probably take the same route. Informatics makes sense because it's more of an engineering background as well. So I have to say, like, Brian really does love, like, at first I was like, does Brian really like informatics? But I think Brian is one of the few people that really loves informatics too, for the most part. And yeah, so Tungusa says, money is not everything. More money does not always means better. What time is it? Have I been streaming for 1:20? Holy shit, that's crazy. Steven sounds on point. Kevin got bored as fuck in his job. He didn't do drugs or anything. I was always straight edge, guys. I never drank or anything like that. People are like, how did you not drink? Like, all my pharmacist friends drink a shit ton, at least, right, at one point. I think Kevin is saying that Kevin is saying this shit is hanging by a thread. That means those who remain are holding things up until Elon Musk Neuralink fucks shit up below. Oh my god, Neuralink. Where do you find businesses for acquisitions? Good question. Cold calling. I forget. Oh, man, I wish I took notes on this on Dan Pena's seminar. I can't remember where you look up, where you get your list of leads and stuff. But you're essentially cold calling a lot as well. That's a good question. If I remember, I'll look at my old notes because I actually took all my QLA notes and scanned them. So I'll try to look up that answer for you, my man. Tungusa, clearly he's unhappy. You can tell in his eyes. Well, I'll let my personal friend Brian Fung validate that because he literally said I've been happier than ever. And I will, me being me, I'll speak for myself because I don't need anyone to tell me whether I'm unhappy or not. I'm a lot happier now. Like, picture this, right? I don't want to just say that I'm happy. Like, let me try to demonstrate it. Every single morning, I get to practice jujitsu when I want, where I want. Every morning, like when a family emergency happens, like right now for myself, I'm able to pick up my bags and go help my family rather than ask for permission, right? I get to choose my hours when I want to work, what I want to work on, and no one can tell me otherwise. Like, dude, I'm clearly so miserable doing that. Now, is it the most stable thing in the world? Hell no, it's not stable. Like, it's very tough sometimes, but I'll tell you this, I'm making more money than I did last year, right? And it's slowly creeping up. My assets are growing. Like, I'm pretty, like, I know, like, just like how you're saying, like, how you can work hard in pharmacy. Well, you can work hard on your own assets and have those grow too, right? Same concept as that as well. So there's that. I don't think there's a lack of clinical pharmacist training. If anything, there's an overabundance. Job market is terrible all around. You're spoiled, Kevin. Plain and simple. You're lazy. I'm done trying. Dude, I told you stop trying before, man. It's just like, dude, you just don't get it, my man. So good luck, man. I appreciate you wanting to change me. I'm glad for the times that we have, but it's kind of like time to break up, man. So yeah. Let's see. Polo, you sound disgruntled teen from Mumbai. Why aim low? Bob, why the negativity towards David? David's a pretty good guy. I actually met him. He's a really good guy with good intentions. I'm sure Kevin is old enough adult to make his own decision, but you don't need to be shaming people. Please have some empathy and not be so aggressive. He's not that old. He's 32. He's going to be benign, 40 with 100K in debt. I don't see myself doing that, and I'm pretty damn responsible with my finances. And I am pretty responsible with, I don't know, man. It's like beating a fucking dead horse. I mean, if you really think I'm a piece of trash, El Pollo Loco, just leave. Like, seriously, why are you still here, my man? Since he has some stability, don't you think he has a good opportunity to take some risk in life? And Steven brings up a great point, actually. It's like, dude, right now is the time to take the risk. You know, not later down the line. We have kids. Time is an asset. And it's just like I think El Pollo Loco brings up, like, what's really interesting is that everybody, like you that's watching this, or maybe like you want to start something, everybody's going to have their El Pollo Loco in their life, right? By the way, I love El Pollo Loco. Like, for those quick meals and stuff, they're great. But, you know, like, everybody has these doubters, people who want you to stay the traditional path. People, maybe they're the moms in your Asian parents in your life. Maybe they're your coworkers and stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is what you want. You pay all the consequences. It's not like El Pollo Loco is going to pay the consequences, right? He says he doesn't want me to end up in 100K debt. Well, I don't want to be in 100K debt too, and I think I know best too. Like, based off my financial situation, whether that's going to happen to me or not, right? He hasn't paid off all his loans. Well, yeah. Have you ever asked why I haven't paid off all my loans? Because the return that you get on your investments is a lot higher than your loans. So wouldn't it make sense to do that, right? So, it's not like he has no money, isn't taking no risk, right? Blah 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 blah. Going to go over. He puts more work off working at Pharmacist, blah, blah, blah. Why do you think he's moving? I never said I was moving. Like, honestly, I'm here because of a family emergency, right? All my stuff is still in LA at the moment. So obvious. Yeah, dude. You're going to feel like an asshole later when I tell you exactly why I came back for a second. So Brian knows because I think I told him what's really going on too, right? So you're gonna feel like a fucking asshole in a bit. Watch Graham Stephan. Some loans are good if you pay it off later, if you can use that money to invest. Exactly. So Steven, you get it. Because Graham Stephan, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Graham Stephan, but he does have some sound stuff. We have to look at the numbers, right? In terms of if your return on investment, or if your return is higher than the interest rate on your debt, like it makes more sense doubling down on the thing that is getting you more return as well, right? Like, why would you pay off your debt and use all your liquid capital on that rather than reinvesting into an asset which is growing a lot faster than your debt? Doesn't that make sense? You know, so Poyo sounds so salty. Tungusa says, "Who hurt you?" Salty. Pollo sound good though. Yo, El Pollo Loco is pretty freaking good for a chain. Like, if you need quick macros, if you want like quick macros, man, like it's perfect. You know, El Pollo Loco is great, man. And here's the thing, El Pollo Loco, I really don't believe you're a bad person or anything like that. But man, like, I just like, you're doing the best that you know with what you have at the end of the day. But man, you gotta really learn not to impose your thought. You have to have a more open mind, man. So that's my only feedback. But I believe you're a good dude, man. So I can't. I feel sorry for your patience, says Tungusa. It's not that he hurts. He just likes stability over freedom. A job it doesn't have to dictate your life. It really doesn't. I mean, like, I've kind of changed my view on jobs. Essentially, a job is to sustain the lifestyle that you want as well, right? That's the point of a job, or point of a career, or point of a business, right? As long as you can sustain your lifestyle, that's all that really matters, your ideal lifestyle. Now, the problem is do you know what your ideal lifestyle is to begin with, right? So there's that. It's a job. 30% of the time belongs to society and world, and contribute 20% to yourself, the rest to your family. AZ says, don't be naive. 100 of time is your time. Could pharmacists ever be replaced? Do you think that only techs can be replaced by robots? I think pharmacists can definitely be replaced in the future as well. So something that is very, like, I believe is very real, but I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. I'm not Miss Cleo, like, but I definitely believe that automation should happen. I don't want to say it should happen, but honestly, if I was thinking about patient's perspective about errors, computers are a lot better at detecting errors than us humans as well. But it allows pharmacists to really focus on more of the pharmacy roles that are really important as well. Gotta head out, says Brian. Keep doing what you do, Kevin. Love you, Brian. Nobody on their deathbed wishes that they worked more. That is very true, AZ. Or live thinking about 30% of wasn't their own. Get the fuck out of here. Bye, Brian, says Tungusa. Oh, man. Tungusa says, what it's like being an entrepreneur: high risk, high reward. It's scalable versus a 9-to-5 job. Being an entrepreneur is far from being lazy. It takes guts and a lot of work. El Pollo Loco, if you love your 9-to-5 job, awesome, proud of you. However, you need to leave other people alone and not bring them down. I appreciate you, Tungusa, like, really, really. You know what? I have to say, like, dude, those that are defending me, man, really appreciate it, because it's been really, really tough dealing with, like, negative people and stuff like that. It's been really tough on my end. So just want to thank you guys. I think it's, like, important for me. This stream was really good, just having that feedback back as well. React to Smosh, says Don. I miss the old Kevin, the happy Kevin that had hair in 15, that took care of himself. You gotta block this dude. He's so salty. Here. Yeah, this is my wife's song. Blah, blah, blah. This is my my wife's song. She was 23. I was 18. She died. She cheated on me. I couldn't live with that. A joke. Had a good day. Like, was chill. Okay. Man, this is pretty interesting as well. And I'm not seeing all the new comments and stuff. Dr. Lee says, all the fields in this room, I'm pretty sure Kevin does not live to please others. Polio. Let's not even look at the effective job on you. The job itself doesn't have to be proper service to the patients. You're in a position where you're encouraged to push scripts. Yeah, so like Dr. Lee is obviously a pharmacist. Hagao, I think you're a pharmacist. I don't know if you're a pharmacist, but you're OG. Like, dude, I recognize those dumplings, those 4 dumplings in that bamboo steamer, man. You're OG, bro. So anyways, guys, I think I'm done really talking about pharmacy and all that. Just want to wish you guys good night. Really appreciate all y'all that supported me. And even, hey, El Pollo Loco, I got to give you props too, man, for just like voicing your opinion. Really appreciate it. We had a good good chat. And I think it's just best to disagree at this point. Yeah, and if you don't wanna follow me, don't follow me. But like, dude, like maybe I'll do the pleasure of blocking you too, man. If that's the case, but you know, I think you should make your own decision whether you want to follow my channel or not, my man. Genuinely don't understand why people are like this. Just stop, El Pollo Loco. You're ruining your mood, our mood, and Kevin's mood. Smash that like button. Appreciate it, y'all. That's it, y'all. By the way, guys, love you guys. And guys, if you want to contact me, shoot me an email on subscribers@refugeehustle.com. And let's talk, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace, mother people.